Hey, it's Daddy Steve. Please like and subscribe. Please click on the Deck Heroes icon. Click on subscribe. It's 100% free. Blood in, blood out. And don't forget to click on the notifications just so you don't miss any amazing content. Okay, so this video is from the FBE Capital channel. From about 5 seconds in, I just laughed. And I did see 2 minutes more, but I just laughed and I thought I've got to do a video on this. I think some of my videos have been kind of too focused and serious, but this one's just for lols and just for the laugh, mainly for the men, right? But we're gonna have a laugh. There's a lot of ladies talking about their dating experiences, and let's go forwards.
When it comes to modern dating, girls love to tell you that you need a great profile, solid openers, and plan an amazing first date. But in reality, the guys they actually swipe on and sleep with do not give a fuck.
Trying to start a conversation. Hey cutie, how's your weekend? Shit in my mouth.
So this guy says to me, oh, well, I showed your Instagram to my roommate and he said, oh, she's pretty, but she looks chubby in her photos. On a date, on an actual date.
The most unhinged things men have said to me while we were dating. One, yeah, there's a girl in my bed, but I left her to have breakfast with you.
I just had the worst first date of my life. Date invited myself along with 2 other women so that he could speed up the process of finding his perfect 3-way.
So Liam messaged saying, and the award for the biggest forehead goes to...
No, we can't let that go. So, no, this is some bullshit, man. This is some bullshit. I don't care. Listen, guys, I don't know if you... I don't know. Listen, I've known some footballers and friends of footballers and things like that. And the kind of people who might have multiple women on the side. And those women know about each other, but they're being financed by some very wealthy men. You know what I mean? So that it's going to be that kind of guy who rolls up to anywhere with 2 women who are up for it, right? It ain't going to be no everydayer. And hold on. So he met up with... it's just bullshit, basically. Anyway, so she's going on a first date with a guy, and he brought 2 girls with him, saying, "Okay, I just want to try and get." He thinks that's the quickest way to have it. I'm taking this too seriously. Let's go forward.
His opening message to me, I eat ass.
Do you like to be punished?
So I was talking to this guy and he was literally ticking every single box.
It was a really hot guy that I matched with on Hinge.
He was good looking.
He has a driver, and it was a really nice car.
Too good to be true, right? He rang me up and he was like, "I've just noticed your profile picture. And I can see on your profile picture that you've got a child. Why would I want to speak to anyone who had little cock blockers?"
I think at the end of the day, I think the main compromise with a lady who has children is about her availability and her priorities. And that's two big issues, isn't it? If she's never available and you're never going to be anywhere near a priority, then it's going to be a big ask for a person who doesn't have that kind of baggage to kind of step into it. So for ladies, if you're watching this one, I would suggest, if possible, and I know you already know this and I'm not trying to piss people off, if you had a great relationship with the child's father and you go towards a 50-50, and I know cases where the dads don't give a damn, and I know plenty cases where the dads are excluded, you know what I mean? So it's kind of somewhere in the middle, and again, I'm not trying to piss people off, and this is for the boys anyway, this video. But anyway, the ladies, make sure that you are available and you can prioritize having some kind of interesting dates along the way of having met this amazing guy, and then you can see where it goes. But if you never have time to invest in that relationship because of your commitments, and let's not say baggage, your commitments, that it's never going to go forwards, and that's kind of not what we want, is it? Anyway, so let's go. And the other alternative is you want to avoid a situation where a guy thinks actually there's no investment in this, it's not investment worthy because this person's never available, etc. And plus he might not want to be an instant dad, but who knows once he gets to know your kid, and that's the kind of odds that you're playing. But if you don't make yourself even a possibility, you're going down that hit and run, but you know what I mean, like pump and dump, those kind of things. Anyway, let's go forward.
Yep, that's right. Hot guys do not give a f. But ironically, it is women who let them get away with it over and over again.
And I make my cute little profile like, "Oh, hi, I'm Morgan, tee." And he's like one of the first ones that pops up. And he's gorgeous. Oh my God.
See, she picked the hot dude just for being...
Oh, I'm going to have to take these captions off because I think, like every man on there, we don't want anything obscuring our view. But listen, this is another important topic, right? Important topic. Not all chest areas are born the same. There are some that we just don't want to see. And I guess this is a personal tasting. I don't know if I really want to see that. I can see it right there in the bottom right hand corner. And I love Those things, those things are built to be loved. Don't get me wrong, but you know, I mean, some of them are not so much. Not so much. Oh my gosh, I'm getting flashbacks now about what I really mean. I'm not going to go into it. Maybe another video. Anyway, let's go.
Not because of some great bio, and not because he planned a great first date.
So we pull up to this bar, and this thing is like a hole, like a rat hole.
No personality.
When he's talking, all I hear is like, oh, football frats.
That's another thing right there. I'm gonna just kind of rewind. It's like, look at where we're at right now in terms of size, and look at this in a minute.
Bar, and this thing is like a hole, like a rat hole.
No personality.
Now, what's going on here? She went from like a B cup to, what's that going to be? Minimum double D. B cup. So how does that happen then? Let's think about it. People can use, oh my gosh, people can use filters, but that's some kind of AI stuff. That is some kind of digital enhancement. It's going to be her that she's kind of made, you know, those kind of like little fun bags look a little bit bigger than what they are. So again, listen, what happens when you actually meet up with the guy though, and then you haven't got nothing? And I've been in this situation. I've been here. Trauma. I ain't gonna go, oh man, I'll go into the story another time. I want this one to be fast paced, so anyway, we'll go forward.
When he's talking, all I hear is like, oh, football frats, and skanks.
And being rude as
Got his hand on my leg, and I'm telling the story. He cuts me off in the middle of me telling my story, and he goes, I just want you to know, you're not my person. And so I was like, in my head, I'm sitting like, why would he just cut me the off to say that?
I'm just trying to think about it. Listen to the times when you're on I don't want to keep stopping it, but it's just too funny. Okay, how many times have you been on a date and you just think, nah, there's definitely flag material, nothing's going to happen. But in your mind, you're also thinking, yeah, I might just give it a happy time. That's not me abusing it, you know, that's like, and you might think, well, I'll just try and get that over the line. But listen, I'm not going to invest too much time in trying to get there. But anyway, let's see how it panned out for you.
Yep, this is what happens when women complain about men being trash. By the way, spoiler alert, he still f***ed the shit out of her later that night.
I'm not going to tell you all the rest because, like, I will be banned, but my God, what a night.
And so you see, the dating market is absolutely f***ed. But the reality is, it's women who are rewarding this type of bad behavior.
And all I can think is, you catfished me and now you drop this bombshell and you still expect me to date you? Are you insane? But I kept dating him.
So why the hell would any of these guys ever change? Since if you have access to a buffet of pussy while being an asshole,
a Hinge notification pops up on his phone, like for everyone to see. It was like clearly out there. We both literally looked at it and then looked at each other, and then he carried on talking to me as if nothing had happened.
Then what's the incentive to treat any of these women with some basic level of...
Yeah. Basically, what happened just a minute ago, so he was on a date with her, I just processed it in my brain, and then a Hinge notification, how was your date with other person? which shows that clearly he went on a date with somebody else. But if he wasn't in a relationship with her, and he's, you know what I mean, they haven't had that conversation, then yeah, so the F what? And it goes both ways. Surprise, surprise. If she's dating other people, which she undoubtedly will be, because they get their million potentials, you know, trying to put their kind of best cards forward, you know, for a little bit of romance. So, which is never going to be anything near a man. But yeah, either way, if as long as you've had that conversation that you're in a relationship, then fine. But if you haven't, then you're not in a relationship, newsflash.
I mean, you can just tell them to their face to submit and obey.
To submit and obey to me. That is a direct quote.
And he's like, you know, you just need to be quiet and let me take the lead. You don't have to pretend to be someone you're not.
And then he was like, also, you should know that anal is amazing on MDMA. And I was just like...
Listen, I've never ever said that. It's never even crossed my mind about, listen, just shut up and let me take the lead. But listen, if you're kind of getting into... But there's a but, yeah. If you're in a situation where somebody's just yap, and they're kind of going down this toxic kind of thing, and you've got nothing to lose... then you might as well just try and do the alpha thing, I guess. For me, no, because somebody who's kind of got that much kind of weight, you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy. And also, she's going to tell her friends, and then you'll be the legend of the alpha idiot who tried to tell a woman to more or less shush and kind of follow. I don't know if you wouldn't be down for that. But anyway, the point I was going to go through the first time is, you might just kind of play your card and just say, listen, just let me take the lead on this and just see how that pans out. What could possibly go wrong? Anyway, let's go forwards.
Oh my God. Please drop a like if you think that these guys absolutely do not care anymore, and comment down below what you think. Now you just know that these women are gonna say that all men are trash, and that is why dating sucks right now. But we all know that the majority of men would never talk to a woman like that. But women are not dating the majority of men. They're only dating a small subsection.
So he picks me up, he's not bad looking, he has a nice car, he's pretty tall. Okay.
And so clearly, if you are an average guy, you need to get off the dating apps ASAP because they are a waste of time, waste of money.
I did pay, unfortunately, for Bumble.
That's a bag of bullshit there. That's a bag of bullshit. Listen, when it comes to dating apps, and I hear this so often, I'm going to kind of go through a little teeny weeny dive. You got to look at your pictures. You got to look at the things that you say. The things which are going to be polarizing, like are you bloody pro-Trump? Are you right-wing? Are you kind of got there with a bottle of beer? You know what I mean? Are you, I don't know. Women can do swipe left. No, is it left? Yeah. People can reject you basically on a dating app for 1,000 reasons. But numbers-wise and statistics-wise, it's definitely possible. And trust me, I know guys who do extremely well on dating apps. I was out with one of my boys yesterday. One of my mates yesterday. Oh man, you wouldn't believe it. It's on like a celebrity type dating app. I can't remember what it's called. Where the highest profile people are on there. And even then, it's like 20, 30, 40 people who's chatting to at the same time. Anyway, so it's possible. And don't make excuses. Let's go forward.
Premium. It was hard. So I did 1 week, which I think was $29.99.
And there's so many better options to get dates as an average looking dude. And I might make a separate video.
I did pay, unfortunately, for...
Right. Listen, I do wish that at some point I could do a deep dive into, I say, somebody's profile and see what's going wrong. For this guy here, obviously needs a tan. He needs to do a little bit more with his hair. And so there's nothing wrong with him. I'm just saying what the things which are probably going to exclude him. So he probably needs a little bit of a tan. Probably maybe I'm thinking about whether he needs something, a bit more hair to cover the ears a little bit. Nothing wrong with his ears. I don't want to be personal. I'm just trying to think about what may well kind of work for him. And even without that, I'm just thinking if you put him in a shirt, and I do respect his age, and maybe he's not kind of that shirt level, but if he upped his sophistication, he'd do very well. If he stays at this level, what I'm seeing right here on a dating app, he will have some success, but he's going to be struggling. You know what I mean? But anyway, you've got to have a lens about just trying to outshine everybody else, basically, and just have a bit of charisma. So if you do get any, I was going to say leads, like it's a sale, and in some ways it is, then you need to kind of bring that energy and be interesting and be doing interesting things that you can convey to somebody else, and hopefully they kind of have that energy to reciprocate. If they don't, search goes on. Let's go forward.
Premium. It was hard. So I did 1 week, which I think was $29.99.
And there's so many better options to get dates.
What on? You did 1 week. 1 week. Let's move on.
As an average looking dude. And I might make a separate video breaking all of this down. But in this video, it's all about hot guys f***ing up the dating market and the women who let them. So instead, I'll throw in some fuckboy tips at the end, just for funsies if you want to try it for yourself.
I know what they're saying now. When they say hot, I don't know why they're saying hot guys. What kind of man calls another man a hot guy? I guess before it would be the Chads, but listen, it's the top bracket guys. Top bracket guys in terms of looks, appearance, money, all these kinds of things. Some people are going to have them all. Some people will have them all and they will do better, and women always aim for those top 20, 30%, which kind of makes the other 70% struggle. That's the reality of things. Anyway, I don't want to miss anything. Let's just go back, listen 10 seconds and go.
Make a separate video breaking all of this down. But in this video, it's all about hot guys f***ing up the dating market and the women who let them. So instead, I'll throw in some fuckboy tips at the end, just for funsies if you want to try it for yourself.
Let's plan to go on a date, like when you want to come down. And he was like, is it okay if I stay over? And I was like, we all know what we're here for. Yes, you can stay over.
Anyways, before we get into all of that, let's get back to the brutal reality of hot guys rampaging through the dating market, leaving a trail of emotional damage.
And I don't know, I just feel like in this day and age, in this generation with the apps and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, I just feel like it's hard. It's hard. I think it's hard. I think dating now.
No, I just reflected on what she said, and I've never really got about it that way. Let me just go back, man, because that is some real genius. It's obvious, but it's also genius. Just sort of, well, listen, obviously you get to a point where it happens anyway, but maybe I'm overthinking this, but yeah, just we're gonna have a date. It's obviously not gonna be first date, will it? Will you say, oh, okay, is it okay if I stay over? But I guess it just depends on that kind of chemistry where you've led to. If you've met her, say, oh gosh, man, I think about old days in the bar, and it's just hold her, and you got that kind of intimate connection. You know there's something there, and it's going to be electric. In some ways, to not act on it is going to set you back. So if you're going to meet her the first time and also say, yeah, can I stay over? I think that is definitely... Anyway, let's hear it in her words, because, yeah, that is definitely kind of light bulb moment. It's all very good. Good fun.
Stay over.
Anyways, before we get into all of that, let's get back to the brutal...
I was like, oh, is it okay?
Some fuckboy tips at the end, just for funsies if you want to try it for yourself.
Let's plan to go on a date, like when you want to come down. And he was like, oh, is it okay if I stay over? And I was like, we all know what we're here for. Yes, you can stay over.
Anyways, before we get into all of that...
Sounded like a first date. Okay, all is good. Fair enough. No loss.
Let's get back to the brutal reality of hot guys rampaging through the dating market, leaving a trail of emotional damage.
And I don't know, I just feel like in this day and age, in this generation, with the apps and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, I just feel like it's hard. It's hard to, I think it's hard. I think dating now is very hard.
If one more person says to me, don't worry, it'll happen when you least expect it, I have no expectations anymore. None. All I expect is trauma and lessons.
Now, the guys that are causing all of this mess are drowning in pussy so much to the point that they don't even care about showing up for the date, and these girls just keep waiting there until they feel so embarrassed that they just want to cry.
You don't leave someone sitting alone waiting for you for 40 minutes. Like, I almost cried because I felt so embarrassed.
Yeah, that's not great. But sadly, it can always get much, much worse, because this girl took 2 days off of work, traveled all the way from Queensland to Melbourne on a 2-hour flight, to spend the weekend with some dude she was talking to for the past weeks, only for him to ghost her the minute she landed.
He kept saying we need to catch up, and I was like, well, do you want me to come down Easter weekend? He said, absolutely.
That's awful, but if you rewind, she looks nothing like it. No, I'm not gonna wait for you to rewind. Let's just look at her profile pictures and contrast it with the video. Oh my gosh, not that he knew, he's an arsehole. But anyway, let's go with this.
Took 2 days off of work, traveled all the way from Queensland to Melbourne on a 2-hour flight, to spend the weekend with some dude she was talking to for the past weeks, only for him to ghost her the minute she landed.
He kept saying we need to catch up, and I was like, well, do you want me to come down Easter weekend? He said, absolutely. I landed this morning. We've been talking.
Now, just a second. I know this is like that's almost catfish material right there. That's almost catfish material right there. And guys, this is another message. You got to be careful about those kind of lenses. Oh my God, there's something. Oh, there's another video. Oh, I've seen this plenty of times. I know you guys have seen it plenty of times, where those lenses can make somebody look complete. It's a different person. It's a different. I ain't gonna rewind again because we've seen it. But anyway, let's go forward.
All day. I was meant to meet him this evening. I got all dressed up and ready to go. That was it. That was the last I've heard. Just vanished. Poof.
You know what I'm thinking, and obviously I don't know, but as I say, I'm not dating right now. But as I say, that when I was dating, you may well do a little kind of superficial social media search. He might have done a superficial social media search on this person, think, oh man, gorgeous. Exactly what I did a minute ago. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh, wow. And you always judge. you always judge a profile by its worst picture. The worst picture is the reality, and the other ones are on their bestest of best day. Golden rule. Anyway, let's go forward. Listen, he should have still told her to cancel the date and not bother coming, and maybe even refunded her for wasting her time, or maybe even gone through with the date. Since he arranged it, he should have done that due diligence before. Unless, as I said, she's been catfishing. If she's been catfishing, which I think she was, you know what I mean. He shouldn't have to do the social media search. And, that lesson learned for you, young lady. But otherwise, yeah, let's let her know.
Into thin air.
Ouch, that's gotta sting. But yeah guys, that's the reality. These are the type of men these women are swiping on and hooking up with, since no one actually gives a f about your personality or charm when they are swiping on these dating apps.
Gilmore Girls? Oh, he got a Ferrari, Jenna.
Should I super like him?
Yeah.
We've matched a few times in the past. He's stunning.
My first impressions was, my lord, you are tall.
Who is Jack?
Oh! Oh! Super like.
They all say they do, but in reality, they are all lying. Because when it gets time to actually swipe, respond to a message, and show up to a date, they all go for the hot guy. Remember the shit in my mouth girl?
Shit in my mouth.
Yep, that one. Now, she did not instantly unmatch and block the dude. She actually responded,
what do you mean? What do you mean? So I just asked what drugs he was on tonight, and he didn't answer.
So he said something absolutely crazy, and he still got a response, while most men will never even get a response to a friendly, hey, how's your day?
In any case, I would only get like one.
Listen, I didn't realize I was going to say, listen, we're halfway through, it's 20 minutes, but it's just lols, man, there's loads, and there's lots of kind of things to kind of relate to and just laugh about, and yeah, all is good. Gonna be part 2. Going to be part 2. Don't go anywhere. Please like, subscribe. That is Steve, and I am out.